Hello, I'm Marcia Chan, and I'd like to welcome you to my Advanced Grammar and Editing class. Today we're going to take a look at a paragraph in the present time frame using different present tenses. We'll examine it for vocabulary and grammar and sentence structure. This one is called At the Public Library. The Sunnyvale Public Library has been open for 2 hours, and citizens have been entering singly and in groups. At the computers, patrons are looking up books and periodicals for research and leisure purposes. Adults are searching for nonfiction books according to the Dewey Decimal System. I hear younger voices in the youth corner where 4 teenagers have gathered. They are discussing the effects of global warming on the environment. They must be preparing to give a group presentation. Nearby, a family of 4 is browsing children's books. The mother is leading her son by the hand to investigate the picture books. And the father is leafing through books with his daughter to find out which ones she is able to read. Several patrons are checking out books at the self-service devices. 2 librarians are helping others check out periodicals, videos, and CDs at the counter. As I'm leaving the library, I feel sunshine on my face and smell the scent of roses in the garden. All right, let's take a look at it for a couple of things. One of the things that I always ask you to do is to keep your composition within a certain number of words, 150 to 175. So I went up to the Tools menu in Word and counted the words. Well, actually, Microsoft Word counted it for me, and we've got 166 words in this paragraph. So that fits within the criteria of 150 to 175. That's good. Now let's take a look at the vocabulary. We're going to go to the Lex Tutor site. It's a fantastic site for vocabulary. www.lextutor, Lex meaning Lexis, meaning words, vocabulary, .ca, that's Canada. VP is vocabulary profile, and ENG is English. They also have a French version, but we're going to stick to English now. So here's how it works. We can open up the web page that takes us to web profile, and we can take our paragraph. I'm selecting the entire paragraph, and I'm copying it. And now I'm going to go back to that web page and put it in the box. So the instructions say type or paste your text here and click the Submit window. Vocab profile will tell you how many words the text contains from the following 4 frequency levels. 1. The list of the most frequent 1,000 word families. We call them K1, K meaning 1,000, and these will show up in blue. 2. The second 1,000, we call these K2 words. 3. The academic word list, or AWL, those show up in yellow. And 4. Words that do not appear on the other lists. All right, so I'm going to take this text here and get rid of it by clicking delete, and then I'm pasting my paragraph text in the box. Then I'm going to click the Submit button, ta-da, and I get lots of information. So that appears right here on the box. That's a text that I put in, and then it spits out very quickly the text in colors. Isn't that pretty? And it shows me that 80.24% of the paragraph consists of words in the band of 1 through 1,000, the K1 words. They're blue. 5.39% of the words in this paragraph fit into the second band, K2. The words 1001 to 2000. 5.39% of this paragraph consists of academic words, AWL words. They show up in yellow. And the remaining words are not as frequent as either the blue, green, or yellow words. They show up in red, and these are called off-list words. It doesn't mean they're bad. It doesn't mean they're difficult. It just means they're not as frequent as the other words in the paragraph. Now let's go back to the paragraph itself, and you can see that I pasted that information here. All right, so here I've got the whole paragraph without any mechanics like capitalization or punctuation. All right, so just looking simply at words, vocabulary. And again, I'm showing you that the K1 words, 1 to 1000, are 80%. The K2 words are just over 5%. The AW words, which are academic, are 5%. And then there are off-list words, which amount to nearly 9%. That's a good ratio, or a ratio that I would like you to strive for. If you can get a few more AWL words, that's good. Depends on what kind of topic you're writing about. Now, let's do an analysis of the sentence structure and verb forms. I'm going to take the sentences one by one. The first sentence is, the Sunnyvale Public Library has been open for 2 hours, and citizens have been entering singly and in groups. This is a compound sentence, which means here's one independent clause with a subject, the library, and the verb, phrase, or the predicate, has been open for 2 hours. Then we have a comma, we have the coordinating conjunction and we have the second independent clause, citizens, that's the subject, have been entering singly and in groups, that's the predicate, which includes the verb and all the other goodies. That's a compound sentence. It uses the present perfect in the first verb. It has been open for 2 hours. You know, for 2 hours shows the duration. How long has it been open? It has been open for 2 hours. That means it opened 2 hours ago, and it is still open now. Notice that the word open in this sentence is an adjective. It can also be a verb, as I just used in my sentence. I said it opened 2 hours ago. It was not open 2 hours ago. Then it opened, and it has been open, adjective, for 2 hours. It's a non-action verb. It's a linking verb. Notice that we don't use non-action verbs in a continuous or progressive form. But we can do that with the verbs that are action verbs. So we see have been entering is the present perfect progressive. It's an action verb, and it's intransitive, meaning there is no object. There's no direct object. Enter does not need an object. It can have an object, for example, to enter the building, enter the library, but it's not required, so you can just say entering. So in this case, it's verb intransitive. Singly means one by one, and in groups obviously means, 2 or more people at a time. Now let's look at sentence number 2. At the computers, patrons are looking up books and periodicals. Periodicals are magazines, Things that come periodically, every week, every month, every 2 months, periodically, according to a certain period. So they are called periodicals. All right, so books and periodicals. Patrons, those are people who patronize the library. These are people who come to and use the business of the library. Patrons are looking up books and periodicals for research and leisure purposes. So more than one purposes, plural. Research and leisure are the adjectives modifying or describing the purposes. Now this is a simple sentence, because it has one subject and one verb. It's got present progressive, are looking up, because this is an action. To look up means to search for. It's a phrasal verb, to look something up, right? To look something up, that is a phrasal verb. And it is a VT, meaning it's a verb and it's transitive. It means if there's an object, what are they looking up? They're looking up something, books and periodicals. Let's look at the next one. Adults are searching for nonfiction books, according to the Dewey Decimal System. This is a simple sentence with one subject, adults, and one verb, are searching. It's used in the present progressive because it's an action verb. Searching, 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 looking for, looking for. Okay, so they're searching for nonfiction books. It's a verb and it's intransitive. Notice that we use the word searching followed by the preposition for. Let's look at sentence number 4. I hear younger voices in the youth corner where 4 teenagers have gathered. This is a complex sentence. A complex sentence has 2 clauses, one independent clause, or main clause, and one dependent clause, or subordinate clause. In this case, I hear younger voices in the youth corner. This is the independent clause. It can stand independently. For example, if we wanted to put a period here, that sentence would be complete on its own. On the other hand, the second clause, where 4 teenagers have gathered, is a dependent or subordinate clause. It is subordinate, lower in value, to the main clause. It is dependent on the main clause. It must have an independent clause to be joined to. It starts out with the adverb where. If we only put it like this, with a capital W, and said where 4 teenagers have gathered, that would be a fragment. We don't like fragments, so we're going to put it back like that. So here's our complex sentence. Now, in the first clause, we have the verb hear. Hear is a verb of sensation, a verb of perception. It is not an action verb. It's a non-action verb. So, for non-action verbs, we use simple tenses. Here is the simple present. Now, let's take a look at the second clause, where 4 teenagers have gathered. What tense do we have here? This is a present perfect. The present perfect means that the gathering occurred sometime before now, but it's related to the present, and that's why present perfect is the perfect tense to use. 4 teenagers have gathered. It's an action verb. It's not transitive, intransitive. That means there's no object afterwards. So look at the VT. VT means verb. That's transitive. I hear. I hear what? What do I hear? Voices, the object. So that's transitive. But have gathered? We don't say what have gathered? No, that's not a question that can be answered with a direct object. That is a VI. It's a verb that's intransitive. Let's look at sentence number 5. They are discussing the effects of global warming on the environment. They must be preparing to give a group presentation. So here we've got a compound sentence that's formed in a different way from the one we saw before. We have one simple sentence that, or could be a simple sentence with a period. It's an independent clause. And we have another independent clause that could be a simple sentence. Because they are closely related in meaning, we can join them with a semicolon. So, it's a compound sentence, and the verb here, they are discussing the effects. This one is the present progressive. It is an action verb, and it is transitive. What are they discussing? Effects. Subject, they, verb, are discussing object effects. That's the first one. Now we have the second clause, they. The verb is must be preparing. Must be. This is a modal of deduction. This is a modal where you're guessing, and it's used in the present progressive with the main verb in the ing form. If we're sure, we can say they are preparing. If we're not sure and we're deducing this, we're predicting this, we're guessing this, we can use the modal must. Must be preparing. They must be preparing to give a group presentation. Now, is it transitive? Yes, it is transitive because they are preparing something, right? They must be preparing to give. This is the object in the infinitive form. So objects can be nouns, pronouns, infinitives and infinitive phrases, and sometimes gerund phrases. Number 6. Nearby, a family of 4 is browsing children's books. This is a simple sentence. It has just one subject, family, and its verb is browsing. This is a present progressive, is browsing. Present continuous. It's an action verb that has an object. It's a VT. The object is books. What's the family browsing? Books. Let's look at sentence 7. The mother is leading her son by the hand to investigate the picture books, and the father is leafing through books with his daughter to find out which ones she is able to read. This one is a compound, complex sentence. That means there are 3 clauses, 2 of them in a compound relationship, both are independent, and 2 of them in a complex relationship. One of the independent clauses is joined to a dependent clause. In this case, it's IC, DC. Here's an independent clause. The mother is leading her son by the hand to investigate a picture book. So this one could be ended with a period. The father is leafing through books with his daughter. This is another independent clause to find out something. To find out what? To find out which one she's able to read. Here's our noun clause. To find out something. To find out which one she is able to read. All right, so let's look at the verbs. The mother is leading her son by the hand. This one is using the present progressive. It's an action verb and it's transitive, meaning it has subject here, verb here, and object here. Subject mother, verb is leading, and object her son. The second verb is leafing. This one is also present progressive. It's an action verb and it's intransitive. There's no direct object. Instead, there's a prepositional phrase. So the father is leafing through books. And the third clause, which one she's able to read, the verb is. It uses a simple present. It's a non-action verb. It's a linking verb. It's the be verb. It's a stative verb. It's intransitive. Now let's look at sentence number 8. Several patrons are checking out books at the self-service devices. This is a simple sentence with one subject, patrons, and one verb, are checking out books. And we've got the present progressive because this is an action verb and it's a phrasal verb to check out books. All right, so we could actually underline all of this. Now what about 9? 2 librarians are helping others check out periodicals, videos, and CDs at the counter. This is a simple sentence. Librarians, that's the subject, are helping, that's the verb. Others, that's the object. It's a present progressive, action verb, and it's transitive, VT, subject, verb, object. What are they checking out? Oh, lots of things. Periodicals, videos, CDs, books. All right, what else? Number 10. As I'm leaving the library, I feel sunshine on my face, and smell the scent of roses in the garden. Wow, that's nice. That's a complex sentence. A complex sentence has a dependent clause and an independent clause. Let's see what order it's in this sentence. As I'm leaving the library, that's the dependent clause because as is the adverb. And I feel sunshine on my face and smell the scent of roses is the dependent clause. Now our first verb, am leaving, is present progressive. Why? Because it's an action verb. And it is transitive. I'm leaving something. I'm leaving the library. I feel sunshine. Simple present. I smell the scent of roses. Simple present. Both of these are simple present. Why is that? Because they're non-action verbs. They're verbs of perception. They're linking verbs. So we don't use them in the continuous or progressive form. They're both transitive. That means they have objects. I, subject, feel, verb, sunshine, object. On my face is a prepositional phrase. Notice that we have two verbs, feel and smell, both with the same subject, I. I feel and I smell. So it's a compound verb, but not a compound clause. So we only have one clause because it has one subject here. But it's compound verb because this one subject has the verb feel and the verb smell. The verb smell has an object. What do I smell? The scent. Scent is the object. And we have what kind of scent? Prepositional phrase of roses. The scent of roses. Where? In the garden. So you can see prepositional phrases help us define what kind of scent, in that case. And this one tells us where, or tells the location. So now I've analyzed for you this paragraph at the public library. It fits the requirement of 150 to 175 words, and it uses 5 or more percent AWL, or academic words, and I've analyzed the sentence structure and the verb forms and a few other parts for you. I hope this has been helpful for you. Signing off, I'm Marcia Tan.